Life is a series of choices, and every decision we make shapes the path ahead. Some choices are small, almost effortless, like what to wear or what to eat, but then there are decisions that define us, that separate those who merely exist from those who truly live. The power to decide is the greatest power we possess, yet many hesitate, trapped in fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong choice. But the truth is, the only wrong decision is refusing to make one at all. There is no perfect moment, no absolute certainty. The ones who change the world are not those who wait for guarantees. They are the ones who trust their instincts and take the leap. Every great innovation, every breakthrough, every success was once an uncertain decision in someone's mind. But they chose to move forward anyway. They understood that failure is not a dead end, it's a stepping stone. Each wrong turn, each setback is simply a lesson disguised as disappointment. Look around. Every invention, every masterpiece, every achievement was once an idea in someone's mind. But an idea is worthless without action. Vision means nothing if it is not followed by a decision. The ones who rise above the rest are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who have the courage to decide, to take risks, to step into the unknown. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for a sign, waiting for the right time, waiting until they feel ready. But those who wait become prisoners of hesitation. They never truly live because they are too afraid to choose. The most successful people, the ones who leave a mark on this world, are those who refuse to let fear control them. They embrace uncertainty, knowing that the only way to create the future is to decide in the present. At the end of it all, the regrets people carry are not about the things they did, but the things they didn't do, the chances they didn't take, the opportunities they let slip away. So if there is something burning inside you, a dream, an ambition, a calling, don't let it remain a thought. Decide, act, move forward. Because in the end, the ones who dare to decide are the ones who truly live. Every single day, we stand at a crossroads, faced with choices that shape the course of our lives. Some decisions seem small, almost insignificant, but over time, they build the foundation of who we become. Others are monumental, the kind that define destinies and rewrite the future. The power of decision-making is what separates those who lead from those who follow, those who create from those who consume, and those who truly live from those who merely exist. The world is not moved by those who sit in silence, endlessly weighing options without ever taking action. It is shaped by those who have the courage to decide. No great invention, no revolutionary idea, no groundbreaking success ever came from hesitation. Those who have left their mark on history did not wait for certainty. They trusted their instincts, embraced the unknown, and moved forward with conviction. They understood that progress is not about knowing every step ahead, but about taking the first step with confidence. Too many people let life happen to them, drifting wherever the wind takes them, never realizing that every moment presents a choice to change, to grow, to challenge the status quo. But the truth is, life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't linger forever. The ones who achieve greatness are those who recognize that they have the power to shape their own reality through the decisions they make. There will always be doubts, there will always be risks. No path comes with a guarantee, but refusing to decide is still a decision to stay in the same place, to let fear dictate your future, to surrender control to the randomness of life. The most successful people are not fearless, they simply refuse to let fear paralyze them. They understand that uncertainty is part of the journey, but hesitation is the real enemy. In the end, the life you live is the result of the choices you make. Every dream realized, every goal achieved, every success story begins with a single decision. So choose wisely, choose boldly, and most importantly, choose to act. Because in the grand scheme of things, it is not the circumstances that define you, it is the decisions you make that determine who you become. Fear is the invisible chain that holds people back from greatness. It whispers doubts, magnifies risks, and convinces even the most capable minds to stand still when they should be moving forward. The truth is, every decision carries an element of uncertainty. There is no perfect path, no absolute guarantee of success. Yet, the biggest mistake anyone can make is allowing fear to paralyze them into inaction, because in the end, the only wrong decision is refusing to make one at all. The world does not remember those who hesitated, it remembers those who dared. those who looked fear in the eye and acted anyway. The greatest minds, the most successful innovators, were never immune to fear. They felt it just like everyone else, but they understood one powerful truth. Failure is not something to be feared, it is something to be used. It is a lesson, a stepping stone, a force that refines those who embrace it. The ones who change the world are not the ones who never fail, they are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. Too many people spend their lives waiting until they feel ready, waiting until the risk is gone, waiting until the fear disappears. But that moment never comes. Fear does not leave, it must be faced. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is simple. One group lets fear control them, while the other moves forward despite it. Every dream, every goal, every life-changing opportunity will demand a decision. The question is, will fear hold you back, or will you step forward and take the risk? Regret is far heavier than failure. The pain of trying and stumbling is temporary, but the pain of wondering what if lasts a lifetime. In the end, life does not wait for anyone. Those who conquer their fear of failure are the ones who rise, while those who surrender to it fade into the background. The choice is always yours. Will you let fear decide your future, or will you take control? Because success is never given, it is claimed by those who have the courage to decide, even when the outcome is uncertain. Waiting for the perfect moment is the greatest illusion of all. So many people stand on the edge of opportunity, waiting for certainty, for a sign, for the stars to align before they make their move. But the truth is, perfection never comes. There will always be doubts, risks, and unknowns. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who wait for the right moment. They are the ones who decide that the moment is now. The world's most successful people did not start with all the answers. They stepped forward despite their fears, despite the uncertainty, knowing that clarity comes through action, not hesitation. They understood that growth happens in motion, not in endless planning. Waiting for certainty is like waiting for a ship to sail while refusing to step on board. The ship leaves, the opportunity passes, and those who hesitated are left with nothing but regret. Fear disguises itself as logic, whispering, just wait a little longer, make sure everything is perfect. But those who listen to that voice never begin. They stand still while the bold move forward. Every great achievement, every revolution, every game-changing idea was built by someone who refused to wait. They took risks, knowing that failure was possible, but stagnation was certain if they did nothing. There is no perfect time to chase a dream. There is no flawless moment to take a risk. The conditions will never be just right. The only thing within your control is your decision to act. Waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of avoiding the responsibility of making a choice. Those who rise to the top are not those who waited. They are the ones who dared, even when the timing wasn't ideal. Life moves fast, and opportunities do not wait. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is the willingness to act when others hesitate. So stop waiting, stop searching for guarantees, stop thinking that one day everything will feel right. The time to move, to decide, to take control is not tomorrow, it is not someday, it is now. Failure is not the enemy, it is the greatest teacher life has to offer. Yet too many people fear it so much that they never take the risks necessary to grow. They see failure as an end, a sign to stop, when in reality it is just a step in the journey towards success. Every great innovator, every leader, every game changer in history has one thing in common. They failed. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. And each failure wasn't a defeat, it was a lesson, a refinement, a necessary part of the process. The ones who hesitate, who refuse to make decisions out of fear of getting it wrong, are the ones who never move forward. They spend their lives in a cycle of what-ifs, watching from the sidelines while others take action. But the truth is, failure is unavoidable. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of failure, it's how they respond to it. Those who win are the ones who stand up every time they fall, who take the lesson, make adjustments, and keep going. Mistakes do not define a person, inaction does. Every wrong turn, every setback is a signal to adjust, not to stop. The ones who create extraordinary things, who build legacies, understand that perfection is a myth. They don't fear making mistakes because they know the mistakes are proof that they are trying, that they are learning, that they are in motion while others stand still. Some people spend their lives playing it safe, avoiding failure at all costs. But what they don't realize is that avoiding failure means avoiding success as well. The biggest risks in life are not the ones taken, but the ones avoided. No one has ever reached greatness by staying in their comfort zone, by refusing to try for fear of stumbling. Success is not about never failing, it's about never quitting. Every failure brings you one step closer to your goal, but only if you have the courage to keep going. So don't be afraid to decide, to act, to take risks. If you fall, get back up. If you make a mistake, learn from it. But whatever you do, don't stand still. Because in the end, the only true failure is never trying at all. Ideas are everywhere, dreams are common, ambitions exist in every mind. But what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely wish for it is action. Vision alone changes nothing. A brilliant idea left unpursued is no different from no idea at all. The world is not shaped by thoughts. It is shaped by those who dare to bring those thoughts to life through bold decisions and relentless action. Countless people dream of success, of building something extraordinary, of making an impact. They talk about it, think about it, plan for it, but they never take the crucial step of acting on it. Why? Because action requires courage. It demands risk. It invites failure. And that is where most people stop. They convince themselves that thinking about something is enough, that waiting for the right time is a strategy. But in reality, ideas without action are just illusions. The ones who truly change the world are those who do not let their visions remain fantasies. They decide, they act, they execute. Some people spend their entire lives stuck in the planning phase, waiting until they have the perfect strategy, the perfect conditions, the perfect certainty. But in waiting, they lose. Perfection is a trap. There is no flawless plan, no absolute guarantee of success. The only way to turn an idea into reality is to step forward, make a choice, and start. Clarity does not come before action, it comes because of action. The most powerful people, the most successful minds, understand that ideas alone hold no value. What matters is the decision to do something with them. They embrace the unknown, take the first step even when the path isn't fully clear, and trust that movement itself will reveal the way forward. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates opportunities, and opportunities lead to success. The world does not reward those who think, it rewards those who act. It is not the person with the best idea who wins, it is the one who dares to pursue it. So if there is something inside you, an idea, a vision, a dream, don't let it remain a thought. Make the decision, take the leap, because in the end, your legacy will not be built on what you imagined, but on what you dared to do. Hesitation is the silent thief of dreams. It disguises itself as caution, as logic, as the need to think things through, but in reality it is nothing more than fear in disguise. Every second spent hesitating is a second lost, an opportunity slipping away, a door quietly closing. Those who accomplish great things in life are not the ones who never feel doubt. They are the ones who refuse to let that doubt control them. They understand that indecision is far more dangerous than making the wrong decision. Some people spend their lives trapped in an endless loop of should I or what if. They analyze, overanalyze, and then analyze again, believing that the more they think, the safer they will be. But in the process, they forget one simple truth. No decision is ever made by thinking alone. The only way to move forward is to choose, to act, to step forward even if the ground beneath is uncertain. Opportunities do not wait. They do not pause for hesitation. They come and go, and the ones who grab them are not always the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most prepared. They are simply the ones who have the courage to say, I'm doing this. They are the ones who understand that hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. Because failure teaches, but hesitation only delays. Many people fear making the wrong choice, so they make no choice at all. But what they fail to see is that inaction is still a decision to remain stuck, to stay in the same place, to let life happen instead of shaping it. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who make decisions, learn from them, and adjust as they go. Life does not reward hesitation, it rewards action. The only way to know if something will work is to try. The only way to grow is to move forward. If you wait too long, you will find yourself watching others live the life you once dreamed of. So if there is something you want, a goal, a dream, an opportunity, stop waiting, stop hesitating, decide, act. Because the ones who change the world are not the ones who stand still. They are the ones who dare to move. The difference between those who lead and those who follow is not intelligence, not luck, not even talent. It is the ability to make decisions with courage. The world is full of people with great ideas, brilliant minds, and endless potential, but only a few rise above the rest. Why? Because leadership belongs to those who dare to decide, who take responsibility for their choices, and who step forward even when the outcome is uncertain. Most people wait for direction. They look to others for approval, for reassurance, for someone to tell them what to do. They fear making the wrong choice, so they make none at all. But true leaders understand that hesitation is more dangerous than any mistake. They know that indecision leads to missed opportunities, wasted potential, and a life controlled by circumstances rather than by choice. The ones who shape history, who build empires, who change the world are not the ones who wait. They are the ones who take action. Courage in decision-making is not about always knowing the right answer. It is about trusting yourself enough to make a choice and standing by it. It is about understanding that failure is not a dead end, but a stepping stone. The greatest leaders of our time did not succeed because they had all the answers. They succeeded because they were willing to take risks when others hesitated. They knew that waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect certainty was just another form of fear, and they refused to let fear dictate their future. Leadership is not about titles, positions, or authority. It is about taking control of your own life. It is about stepping up when others step back. It is about making choices when others avoid them. The world follows those who are willing to decide, who are willing to take action, who are willing to bet on themselves when no one else does. If you want to be among the few who lead, who create, who succeed, then stop waiting for someone else to make the choice for you. Stop looking for guarantees. Stop hesitating. Decide, act, and trust that even if you stumble, you will learn, grow, and move forward. Because in the end, it is not the smartest or the luckiest who lead. It is the ones who have the courage to decide when others won't. Regret is the shadow that follows inaction, and it weighs heavier than any failure. Many people go through life wondering what if and replaying moments in their minds where they hesitated, where they chose the safe route, or where they decided to wait for the perfect conditions. What they don't realize is that the regret of never trying is far more painful than any mistake they could have made. We all have dreams, aspirations, and ambitions, but the cruelest thing is to let them slip by simply because we were too afraid to make a decision. It's easy to rationalize inaction. It's easy to say, I'll wait for the right moment, or I need more time to think. But the truth is, the right moment rarely comes. Life is unpredictable, circumstances change, and opportunities often pass us by when we least expect it. What matters is not when the moment is perfect, but when we decide to seize it. Every decision we make, whether it leads to success or failure, brings us one step closer to the life we are meant to live. But when we hold back, we only create distance between ourselves and our dreams. The fear of failure or making the wrong choice often holds us back from acting, but what's far worse is the fear of never having tried at all. Time is the one resource that we cannot get back. Every day we spend in hesitation, wondering what could have been, is a day that could have been spent making progress, learning, and growing. Regret is not about the choices we made, it's about the ones we didn't make, the chances we didn't take, and the opportunities we let slip away. Those who succeed are not always the ones who made the right decisions every time. In fact, they often made mistakes, took wrong turns, and stumbled along the way. But they didn't let those mistakes define them. They used them as lessons and kept moving forward. And the truth is, they would rather have failed while trying than lived a life full of what-ifs. Regret comes from inaction, from choosing safety over growth, from letting fear dictate your choices. Don't let regret become the story of your life. The pain of failure is temporary, but the pain of never trying lasts forever. If you have a dream, a goal, a vision, decide to act. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to have everything figured out, but make the decision to move forward, to take the leap, and trust that even if you fall, you'll learn, grow, and keep moving toward your purpose. Because in the end, it's not the things you did wrong that will haunt you, it's the chances you didn't take. The ability to make a decision is not about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself, embracing the uncertainty, and having faith that you can figure things out as you go. Too many people wait for the stars to align, for every detail to fall into place before they take that first step. But life doesn't work that way. The most powerful decisions are made not when everything is clear, but when there's a willingness to move forward despite the fog. We are often conditioned to believe that we must have a complete understanding, a solid plan, and a step-by-step guide before making any significant decision. But the reality is, decisions are rarely made in the safety of certainty. The great innovators, the trailblazers, the world changers, they didn't wait until everything was perfect. They didn't have all the answers at the outset. They simply chose to start even when the path ahead was unclear. And through each step, they learned, adapted, and created their own way forward. The truth is, you will never have all the answers. You will never know exactly how things will turn out. But that's where the magic happens. The act of deciding, of committing to a path, of taking the first step is what creates clarity. The world doesn't reward overthinking, it rewards action. Every decision you make, no matter how small, leads you closer to the next. The more you act, the more confident you become in making choices. The more you trust yourself, the more you realize that decisions aren't as daunting as they once seemed. Waiting for certainty is a trap. It's a form of procrastination that keeps you stuck in one place. You can plan and analyze forever, but nothing will ever be certain until you act. And even then, there will always be surprises, challenges, and unknowns. The key is to make the decision and trust that as you move forward, things will unfold. You'll gain more insight, learn new lessons, and adjust as needed. But if you don't make the decision to act, nothing will ever change. So take a step forward, choose, trust that your path will become clearer as you go, and remember that it's okay to not have all the answers. The most successful people in the world weren't the ones who waited for the perfect plan. They were the ones who decided to start, to take the leap, and to believe in themselves enough to know they could find their way, even when the road ahead was uncertain. Make the decision and let your actions show you the way. In the end, the power of decision-making lies not in perfection, but in the courage to act. We live in a world filled with opportunities, yet so many of us hold ourselves back, trapped by fear, uncertainty, and the illusion that we must have all the answers before taking that first step. The truth is, there is no right moment, no flawless plan, no guarantee that we won't stumble along the way. What matters is that we choose. What matters is that we trust ourselves enough to take the leap, even when the path is unclear. Every decision we make, whether it leads to success or failure, shapes us, teaches us, and pushes us closer to the person we are meant to become. It is through our choices that we find growth, that we learn our true potential, and that we begin to realize the power we hold within. The greatest moments in life are not born from indecision or hesitation, but from bold, decisive actions taken in the face of the unknown. So I urge you to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect certainty. The world will never be ready, the time will never be just right. But you have the power to create your own opportunities, to decide your own fate, and to shape your own future. Trust that every decision, no matter how small, brings you closer to your purpose. Know that failure is not a defeat, but a lesson that will propel you forward. And above all, believe in yourself. The most important decision you will ever make is the decision to believe in your ability to navigate life, no matter where it takes you. Remember, it's not about waiting for the right answer, it's about trusting that the right answer will come through action. The world is waiting for those who are willing to step up, to make decisions, and to take the risks that others fear. So make that choice today. Move forward, decide, and embrace the uncertainty, for that is where the magic happens. Your future is shaped not by the decisions you never made, but by the ones you dare to make today.